right, guys, so we've been working on this truck. We're doing kind of an overland build with it. It's been a lot of fun. Now we're moving on to putting on this rooftop tent. Now this is the Everest, which is part of the XD series from Overland Vehicle Systems. This is one of their nicer ones. The XD series are their top of the line. This is a full aluminum hard shell tent. It's big and it's heavy. It kind of goes in line with this whole truck build, big, heavy. But I'm really impressed. So what we're doing right now, we've got it set up there. We forklifted it up and just kind of slid it on. So you come out a little closer here, I'll show you how this thing mounts. This bed rack lined up perfectly. It has these mounting holes. The bottom of the tent has these aluminum channels that run parallel with the truck, and those kind of space the tent up away from the rack, and that allows us to put these little aluminum spacers in. So the one thing I will say, this OVS tent came with, unless I can't find them, there's no instructions. I have no idea. We're just kind of guessing on some of this stuff. But it comes with these little aluminum channels that are pieces that go in this channel, and what you do is you take one of these carriage bolts and it drops down in here, and then you're gonna need help. I had to have somebody lift that thing, a strong guy, because this thing weighs about 300 something pounds. And then you put these in here and you slide them to the desired position. We've already got them in place all the way down. And then you're gonna go up underneath there with a washer and a nylock nut, cinch those down. Before we do that, obviously, we're gonna space everything out, make sure our measurements are correct so it's nice and centered. This worked out awesome. I mean, I wasn't really sure how it was all gonna lay out with the weight distribution over the different supports on the rack, but I couldn't have asked for a better fit on this. So we'll talk more about the tent here in a little bit, but as far as the mounting is concerned, it's really very simple. The tent, you probably saw some of the unboxing, comes very well packaged. We have a forklift, and honestly, if you don't have a forklift and you have, I don't know how you're gonna get this thing up there, it's too heavy. So if you're considering this, I would encourage you to probably buy from a dealer or somebody that's gonna install it for you. For whatever they're gonna charge, maybe a couple $100, it's probably worth it to not hurt yourself. Or your truck, because this thing, if you mishandle it and it falls, I mean, that's going to be a bad deal. So obviously, we're a dealer. We'd be happy to sell you one or get you set up with something, but I'm going to get the rest of this stuff installed. The install is very simple. It even comes with these little rubber caps that go in the end of these channels when you're done. Hey guys, it's Greg here at Deer Park Diesel. Today we're going to walk you through our new OVS, Overland Vehicle Systems Everest rooftop tent. This is a tent that I picked for a number of reasons. We love Overland Vehicle Systems stuff. I think they build a high quality product that is not overly burdensome in terms of cost. I think it's a good value, which we're big believers in good value. So this particular tent is big. I have 4 kids and my wife doesn't really like tent camp, so it's just gonna be me and the kids, but it fits a lot of people. And so we're gonna walk you through the setup, the features, some of the tear down, what we like about it, what we maybe wish was a little bit different, and that's pretty much it. So hope you like it. Let's take a look. This tent is a fold out design. So it's got that hard aluminum top to it, which we picked the soft top tents, this thing's gonna be on the truck all the time. And so I want something that's gonna hold up to the elements. I want it to look good, it's easy to wash. So hardtop was the way to go. It also keeps things inside really clean and dry, and it also has a rack on top, which we're probably gonna mount a solar panel to. So when you set it up, it folds out. Your ladder here is designed to support the weight of this extension and also obviously give you access. They also send you some really cool kind of accessories. These are like storage, they kind of look like saddlebags. These guys, you'll notice this was on it when we got it. It has this little, so this took us forever to figure this out, and full credit to Tim, the guy behind the camera, who noticed it. There is a channel back inside of here that these little rope seams slide into, and that goes like so. These are for storage. They've got lots of room in there. You can hang food or whatever up in here. These are also, you've got room on both sides here. You could move the ladder cover, but you've got room here, out of here, and on this side where you could theoretically just reach out the front door and reach down and grab in that. It also has a little mat, goes on the ground. And then this big long guy is theoretically, I've never tried, but a platform for a dog run. So if you slip this in here in this channel and then slide it over the ladder, you extend the ladder all the way out, and at an angle you can lay this over the top of it and walk your dog up into the tent. So if you travel with dogs, that's a plus, I think. I don't know, I don't travel with dogs. So that's pretty much it for those. Those are really handy, and that channel goes all the way around. And I love this, that I thought this was a nice detail that they added here, is this extruded aluminum channel is everywhere. It's all around on the outsides. So if you can find accessories and stuff that will fit into that, you can add extra stuff. Which is pretty cool. I'm sure they make stuff too. I just haven't looked into it. This has a couple of window pop outs that you can see. They use these rods, these flexible rods to hold them open, which is super simple to set up. In our case, you'll notice that this window over here only has one of them in because of the way that we positioned it on the rack. The box, the cargo box, and this was by design. I wanted to have a weatherproof cargo box that I could access from inside the tent. So this is also from Overland Vehicle Systems. Just a super simple box that we bolted to the rack. If I zip that window open, I can pop that open and get to all my stuff, bags, sleeping bags, food, supplies, that kind of stuff. But it does get in the way of the back window support. So I may try and engineer something to fix that, but it doesn't bother me too much the way that it is. Let's walk up in here and take a look. I've got it opened up pretty well, so we've got enough light. For rooftop tents, this thing's pretty big, right? I've got lots of vertical space here. The whole thing is constructed of this blackout ripstop fabric, which is super heavy duty, and it is true blackout. Like when we shut all these things, you cannot see in here, which is really nice. If you're used to sleeping in the dark, that's gonna help a lot. You've got a vinyl skylight here, so you can zip this down and roll this up. It obviously just zips and Velcros back up to cover it up at night. All the windows, you have dual panels, so you've got your blackout panel and then you've got your mesh screen there. You zip those open to go to access out both sides. It has this storage panel here in the back, which is kind of handy for phones and things like that. If you have kids, an iPad fits right in there, so you can hang it there and they can see it. The other cool feature, it has a built-in light bar, so if you have a little battery bank, I'm hoping this works. Plug that in, and bingo. You've got light built right in, and this has different colors and adjustable output settings. So you have yellow, amber. I don't really know what the amber's for, but yeah, anyway, that's kind of cool. And then you can tuck your USB bank back up there. It has a little opening here so that you can see out back. Just, I think, you know, for me, I could see that being helpful just so you can keep eyes on all sides of the vehicle while you're in the tent. It also helps with ventilation. You've got little triangle windows over here on the sides. These are the same. They've got the blackout fabric and the mesh. When you set up, you use this adjustable pole right here that just expands and then clamps shut. That's pretty handy. It has a nice like 2-inch memory foam mattress in here, so this thing's really comfortable. Obviously it's not as thick as what you sleep on at home, but it does great. Both the top of the shell and the bottom underneath the mattress have an anti-condensation mat, is what they call it. If you've ever slept in a tent like this in the cold weather, you know that it tends to condensate inside. The tent also comes with a cold weather package, which is basically a giant quilt shell that zips up inside of there. I don't have it with me because it's almost June here. We don't need it, but that's pretty cool. And I should mention another feature that I forgot is there is a built-in duct for like a diesel heater. So if you had a diesel heater that was mounted in your bed, you can run your tube, your intake or output tube right up in there, zip that closed on it. So keep it warm in there in the cold months. The construction of the outside, I really like. The install was super easy. It has these mounting channels built in. There's just these little channel pieces that slide down in there with a bolt that comes down with a washer and a nut, and so they're adjustable depth-wise. It worked perfect on this rack, no complaints there, and it spaces it up to just the right height. You have some channel around the outside here too for adding accessories. I'm not sure if they make anything for it. I haven't looked into that. These are your props for your window shades. These are really easy. If you're setting this thing up, you want to pop these in the bottom first and then hook them up there. That's the easiest way to get them in there. When you're setting this up, something I may not have mentioned is it has this really cool opening design. So it has these gas charged struts that all you have to do is basically just get it about 2 or 3 inches open, and those things take over. They pop the whole thing up. It has this X style support. It's really sturdy, and it has a big handle that I've just kind of thrown up over the top that you can pull it down with, which means you don't have to reach all the way up there to try and grab it and pull it down. That's a really cool feature, and I think they did a really good job with that design. Okay, so let's talk about some of the challenges of rooftop tents in general. So this is not directly pertaining to this tent, but if you're considering buying a tent, there's a couple things, and not a comprehensive list, but a couple things that I've noticed that you should be aware of, things that I didn't exactly think about. For one, the tent is on top of the roof of your vehicle, so the vehicle, if you want to sleep well, has to be level. And if you're just out in the woods, finding a perfectly level spot for a vehicle this size is a challenge. So if you have Max-Trax recovery boards, they work great for leveling it out. You can put a little, RV companies sell little bubble levels that just stick on the back. You can put it on the tent or on the truck somewhere, and then that will help you kind of get it most of the way there. So leveling can be a challenge, especially then if you have a tent that flips out, because I've got to make sure this gets level too, otherwise we're going to have a spot in there that's either up or down. The ladder itself is adjustable. Obviously there's the full length of the rung, and then there's these half clicks that you can do, but you've got to kind of find that happy medium where it's supporting this properly and still gives you enough angle to like climb up it instead of being directly straight up and down, because that's going to be a challenge. If it's too far out, then it's going to put a ton of tension on this as you're doing. It's not going to support that really well. So this is, I would say, it's not probably that big of a deal, but something to consider. A couple other things, if you have other accessories on your rack or on your truck, you want to make sure they're going to fit properly. Obviously, I've talked about, we've run into some challenges with our cargo box and with our awning. Those are things that we can work around, so I'm not really worried about that, but something for you to consider. Another thing is caring for it, maintenance. In a perfect world, every day would be like today. It would be sunny and beautiful and warm, but if you've been out on the trail for long, you know that that's not always the case, and sometimes the weather changes on you quickly. Obviously this thing is fully waterproof and it's 100% synthetic material, which is awesome, but if you're putting this away in the rain, you don't want to leave it like that. You're going to need to open it back up, dry it out, clean it out, and that can be laborious. Honestly, it can be a chore. I have a shop, so I can pop it open in the shop and let it dry out. That's really nice for me, but I know that's not true for all of you. So something to consider. If you may end up in a situation where you have to put this thing away wet, and that's okay, but you can't leave it that way. You need to get them clean and dried out. Otherwise, it's not going to last you very long. All right, so in summary, what do we think of this? Well, To be honest with you, it's my first rooftop tent, but I have been very happy with it so far. We deal with a lot of different products in the shop that we install on customers' vehicles, and they're not all made the same, right? You can tell quality when you see it. In my opinion, this is a very high quality tent, particularly for the price. Now, granted, I think these go for about somewhere between $300 and $3,500. That's not nothing. I'm aware of that. But there are brands out there that are significantly more, and there are brands out there that are less. The old saying is still true, you get what you pay for. So this suited my needs well. It was very spacious, it's easy to set up, it's durable, and it has all the features that I need. So I'm very impressed with this. I would highly recommend it. If you have any questions about it, or there's anything we didn't cover in this video that you want to know, please reach out, leave a comment, shoot us a message, or look us up and call us at the shop. The number should be in the description. You can always look us up at deerparkdiesel.com. We'd love to help you answer those questions, and if you're in the area, we can hook you up with one. So thanks for watching. We appreciate your time, and I hope this is helpful.